Elopteryx. Elopteryx is a genus of, perhaps troodontid, maniraptoran theropod dinosaur based on fragmentary fossils found in late Cretaceous period rocks of Romania. The single species, Elopteryx nopcsai, is known only from very incomplete material, and therefore is considered a nomen dubium, dubious name, by most paleontologists. History of discovery and naming. Initial finds. In the late 19th or early 20th century, the famous Hungarian paleontologist Franz Nopcsai von Felsoszolv was found near Sânpetru, in what is now the Romanian region of Transylvania, some bone fragments of a small theropod. These were acquired by the British Museum of Natural History. In 1913, curator Charles William Andrews named these as the type species Elopteryx nopcsai. The genus name Elopteryx is from ancient Greek helos, lambda omicron sigma, marsh plus pteryx, pi tau rho upsilon xi, wing. The specific name honors Nopcsai. Initially, Elopteryx was described from its holotype, a proximal left femur, specimen BMNHA1234. A second upper left thigh bone fragment, BMNHA1235, was referred. A distal left tibia tarsus was also tentatively assigned to this taxon. It was initially classified with the same specimen number as the holotype and was found in close proximity, but may not be from the same individual, see below. This has since been relabeled and is now specimen BMNHA4359. The exact location and time of the discoveries are today unknown. The fossils date from the early late Maastrichtian, Bagudian, faunal stage, circa 71 to 66 million years ago, originating from the Sânpetru formation of the Hotsag Island. The animal was by Andrews believed to be a pelicaniform seabird. In 1929 the Hungarian paleontologist Kálmán Lambrecht referred to more specimens, BMNHA-PAL.1528 and BMNHA-PAL.1588, respectively a left and a right tibia tarsus. In 1933 Lambrecht named a separate family Elopterygidae. The supposed family Elopterygidae was initially placed in the suborder Sully, then still in the polyphyletic pelicaniforms, in 1963 by Pierce Brodkorp in his Fossil Bird Catalogue, and the Cenozoic genera Argelornis and Diastiga were moved to it. These two are unequivocal derived neorhynith birds and the latter indeed seems to be an ancient solid, whereas Argelornis has turned out to be referable to the giant pseudo-toothed bird Dasornis which was almost certainly not very closely related to the Sully. Reconstruction attempts of nopcsai like this are based on this presumed affiliation with gannets and cormorants. But more recent studies would result in radically different interpretations. Later finds. In 1975, the distal tibia tarsi BMNHA1588 and BMNHA1528, together with BMNHA4359, were by Colin James Oliver Harrison and Cyril Alexander Walker removed from Elopteryx, redescribed as Bradycneme draculae and Heptastiornis andrewsi respectively, and used to establish a supposed family of gigantic 2-meter-tall owls, the Bradycnemidae. In 1978 Brodkorp had changed his opinion after the supposed Elopteryx material was divided among 3 species in total, and was actually the first scholar in modern times to suggest that these Mesozoic bones were not of birds but of non-avian dinosaurs. In 1981, Dan Grigorescu and Eugene Kessler stated that Elopteryx was a non-avian coelurosaurian dinosaur. They also referred a supposed distal femur, FGUB-R.351, to Elopteryx, but this was eventually identified as a hadrosauroid distal metatarsal. In 1992, it was proposed by Jean Leloy-Fea that Bradycneme and Heptastiornis should be synonymized with nopcsai again, and a femur, MDED203, an anterior dorsal vertebra, MDED01, a posterior sacral vertebra, MDE collection, unnumbered, and some dorsal rib fragments from the Jurassic Gresa reptiles formation of France were described as an indeterminate species of Elopteryx. That study placed all this material in the Dromaeosauridae or a family or subfamily, Elopterygidae, very close to these. The vertebrae were in 1998 separated again and assigned to a new dromaeosaurid, Viraptor machinorum. The French femur is similar in general appearance to the Elopteryx type but it differs in diagnostic traits, for example lacking a fourth trochanter. Also, neither the ribs nor the tibia tarsi can be compared to the type specimen of Elopteryx, there being no overlapping material. In 2005, by Kessler yet another, distal, femur piece, FGUB-R.1957, has been placed with Elopteryx on the basis of the bone texture. Phylogeny. Modern interpretations have differed on the question whether the Bradycneme and Heptastiornis material should be included. They have meanwhile been synonymized and split from each other in Elopteryx many times, and what the exact affiliations of the material would be. Various solutions were proposed for this problem. During the 80s some researchers proposed Elopteryx were a member of the Troodontidae, without being able to support this with much empirical evidence. In 1998 Cheeky and Grigorescu suggested that Elopteryx belonged to the Maniraptora, while Bradykneam had a more basal position in the Tetnuri. In 2004 Elopteryx was by Darren Neisch and Gareth Dyke considered a Maniraptoran incerticetus, possibly either a non-ornithuromorphan pygostylian bird or a troodontid, while Bradykneam would be a maniraptor, and Heptastiornis, at least its holotype BMNHA 4359, a member of the Alvarasauridae. Thus nopcsai seems to be some sort of bird-like Maniraptoran, but not related to modern birds. In 2005 Kessler however, reunited all the material in Elopteryx but considered it an alvarasaurid.